The DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. It's been going on for pretty much 7 years. There's been some ups and downs, there's questions about the future of it, but nonetheless it's still ongoing and it's still open to expansion. However, as of right now, there are 8 DCEU movies in total. This is them. Got Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, and Birds of Prey, most recent release, which, as of recording this, released yesterday, in the UK anyway, on Blu-ray. So with such recent release of Birds of Prey on digital and download and, you know, hard copy, I thought it'd be great to share with you guys my ranking of the DCEU. So, we are gonna go from bottom, worst, to top, best. If you guys disagree with me, let me know your opinion in the comments. It's all about opinion at this point, because when I do videos like this, some people think that my opinion is what I think is right, and that everyone should think that. I don't, okay? So, all opinion, let's go. So, falling at my number 8 spot is Suicide Squad. Now, the thing about this film, right, and first of all, this is the extended cut, so you know, it had a bit more in it, and you know, I appreciated that. But the issue I had with this film is that it was way too optimistic. The plot of this film was the world, pretty much the world could end. And we're like, right, we know the world isn't going to end because there's a lot more movies scheduled to come after this. So odds on they're not going to be doing prequels. So it was a bit of a weak plot and it was way too optimistic, I think, because, you know, if it was like Superman and whoever else, like actual superheroes, then maybe it would be more realistic. Maybe it'd be like, okay, they can stop the world from ending. But these guys, even though they have pretty decent powers, some of them, it's not really something that they can't really save the world from annihilation. I know the plot kind of changed like throughout the film, but yeah, no. However, I do think that the casting was very, very good. I feel like some casting was better than others, but overall the cast did a great job and the actors were played pretty much perfectly. In penultimate place, number 7 on my list is Batman vs Superman. This is like a 3D case, you might not be able to see that. Batman vs Superman. So again, when this film came out, I actually really enjoyed it. As the time's passed, it's been like, what, 4 years? My liking to it has dropped a little bit, but that doesn't change that this film is okay. Like Suicide Squad, I feel like this film was way too optimistic, but also it was just too soon. Like, we had one DC movie, well, DCEU movie, and it was Man of Steel. Then there's this film, the first time we're introduced to Batman in the entire universe, and it's with Superman, and Superman dies in it. Like, it's only his second appearance in the entire DCU, and he dies. And I know, obviously, you know, things go further, but it just happened way too soon. I feel like if we had the Man of Steel movie, then a Batman movie, and then even the Wonder Woman movie, and then Batman vs Superman, then it would have made more sense. But it just didn't. It didn't go like that, and this film is rated 5 stars by The Sun. Now, any UK guys know, The Sun, yeah, don't trust that, but no, I wouldn't give that a 5 star, and it is number 7 on my list. But something I did really enjoy about the film is the civilian characters. So I feel like Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, they did great. Bruce Wayne as a character, really liked. Clark as a character, really liked. Diana as a character, really liked. Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman, on the other hand, weren't as great. Mostly Batman. I feel like Batman was, they didn't know what they were going to do with him, but the character of Bruce Wayne himself, that was really great, and that's the props that I give to this film. Number 6 on this list is Justice League. Now, I think everyone kind of has the same issues with Justice League. It was presented not great, and we obviously know what happened. There was the whole thing with Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon and the different cuts. We get in the Snyder cut soon, very excited for it. But this does go in the number 6 spot on my list, just because the presentation of it just wasn't great, and the characters didn't really stay consistent. Like, I loved the Flash in it. Was he like any other Flash we've seen? No, he was far from it, but he was still pretty cool. The same with Diana and Arthur, Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Aquaman wasn't as great as he will come to be in his own movie, but they're still pretty great casting, and the casting just in general. Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, even though there's some controversy over him right now. The cast did a great job, and even Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill, but I just feel like the writing just wasn't there. My number 5 spot goes to Birds of Prey, the most recent one in the collection. So recent that I still haven't even taken the plastic seal off it. Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn was a pretty good film. Margot Robbie does a great job, and that's one thing I loved about Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie did a great job as Harley Quinn. And the visuals and all the colours, and that makes me sound like a child, but just the way it all looked, it was very vibrant, it was very cool, it was very stylish. I really liked that aspect of it. The downfall I have with it is that at some point the story was a bit slow. Like when it picked up, but it took a while. And also, this shouldn't be called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. It should be called Harley Quinn and the Fantabulous Emancipation whatever of the Birds of Prey, because realistically, Black Canary was fantastic, okay? Black Canary was great, but I don't think she had enough light. Like, all the characters from all the Birds of Prey members, all of the Birds of Prey were there, but they didn't feel like the Birds of Prey until the end. So I would have been best off just being called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, or something like that. Number 4 on my list is Wonder Woman. Now, so great things about Wonder Woman, this is pretty much the first like DCU film that I watched and like really enjoyed. And it was really great. The casting was really great, and the story was pretty strong. Like overall, it was a pretty strong story, and I actually really enjoyed the film. The biggest downfall is that the whole point of the film is meant to be, you know, very women forward, female director, who pretty much full female cast. It was really great, but then Steve Trevor is the one to sacrifice himself, and pretty much if it weren't for him, Wonder Woman wouldn't have won. Diana would have been screwed. So I'm all for this being like the strong, the representation of strong women that we need. But then Steve Trevor was the reason why the film ended well. And even though it didn't end great, because obviously he died, but it just, I feel like I would have liked to see Wonder Woman have a bit more, not more of a role, but more effect in the finale of the film, because it was very much, if it weren't for Steve Trevor, then shit could have gone down bad. And yeah, he had to blow up the plane. Yeah. But the fact that The Sun rated this a 4-star and rated this a 5-star, I don't see what went wrong there, but no, switch those around, and if not, knock one off there when we switch them around, because this deserves maybe a 3. We are now in the final 3, or the anticipation's up. You guys probably know which films are left, and this is probably where the controversy comes down. So, number 3, Man of Steel. Now, this is probably where the controversy will come in. This is actually the most recent one I watched. I never watched this till, like I say, a week or 2 ago, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great start to the, obviously, what then became the DCEU. The casting of Henry Cavill as Superman was great, and they showed a lot of Krypton stuff, which we haven't really seen before. Like, we know of Krypton, we know what it's about, but they spent quite a bit of time on Krypton, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to see. I didn't just want to know of the origin of Krypton, I wanted to see what it was all about, and they really showed us that in this film. This is my issues and why it's number 3. So, coming down to casting, I wasn't a huge fan of Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I'm also not a huge fan of Michael Shannon as Zod, okay? They're great actors, completely, but just in these roles, I don't know, unlike in Batman vs Superman, Amy Adams isn't that bad, but personally, I just don't feel the connection between myself and Lois when she's playing Lois. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, because she's a great actress, but yeah. And Michael Shannon as Zod, it didn't fit. It didn't fit in my opinion. I also feel like at some points the action was a bit much. Like, come on, it's Superman. He's got so many great powers. The action needs to be there, but I feel like they tried to go the route of Superman, look how much Superman can do. He's super strong, he's got lasers, look at all this stuff he's doing, as opposed to, right, he can do this stuff, let's see him utilize it for his benefit. No, like, it's just destruction and fast-paced stuff, and sometimes less is more. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have Aquaman. Now again, people will say that some of these films are better than Aquaman. Personally, I love Aquaman. Not even just as a character, this film specifically. I love Aquaman anyway, but this film specifically, I love, right? It's so good. I never got to see it in cinema because I thought, nah, DC haven't been doing great stuff, I'll give it a miss. Got it on Blu-ray. Oh my god, yes. The visuals are amazing. There's some bits in the water which look a bit weird, but other than that, it looks great. The fight scenes and the fight choreography is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the ones where they kind of do the one shot spinning around. They look great. Like, that's like one of the first fight scenes we see with Aquaman's mother. It's so good. Jason Momoa is great. I love Jason Momoa. Willem Dafoe is always fantastic, so what more can you say about that? And this isn't that big, but Ludi Lin is in it as the character of Merc, so gotta give my Power Ranger respect. The only real downfall I have with this film is that Black Manta could have been better. I feel like they kind of cut corners with him a little bit, and also Mira was a bit bland. I feel like if they just maybe worked on those characters a bit more, it could have come out great. But hey, I love this film. So here we are, the #1 spot on my DCEU ranking. You guys know what it is. It's the only one I haven't mentioned, and that is Shazam. Okay, sure. I might have to prevent myself from saying this name throughout the rest of the video. This isn't even the right top, this is the Flash. What? Hang on then. Shazam! Cool. So yes, that movie is my favourite film, like, in the DCU overall, without a doubt. First of all, the casting. Asher Angel is great as Billy Batson, young Billy Batson, and Zachary Levi, what can I say about this man? He is great, and like, I liked him before seeing this film, but now he's just, well, hold on, gotta give the absolute best of respect to this man. This film is also perfectly emotional. Like, there's so many emotions I run through doing this film. There's loads of epic scenes, loads of terrifying scenes, but also just really heartwarming stuff, like the entire thing with his mother, the entire thing with the foster family, the siblings. It is just beautiful. Also, Mark Strong, incredible actor, love the man. The American accent wasn't great, but I still love him anyway, and I have a very special connection with Mark Strong, with reasons that I'll never be able to forget. Got a dream on. Like, literally just one of my favourite scenes, or even techniques in this movie, is when we see Billy Batson at a young age with his mother. Now, when he has the memory of his mother, her coat is really bright red, her hat and gloves are really bright white, everything's really bright. When we see what actually happened, his mother's coat isn't so red. It isn't, her hats and gloves are pretty much grey. And it's kind of like the memory that Billy had of his mother, that she was such a perfect woman and she was so amazing, when realistically, she was the one who purposely lost him, like, for his own good, obviously, but, you know, stuff like that is pretty cool. And also just the fact that they accidentally left crew members in the scene, didn't have enough time to paint them out, so they just made them like shoppers and janitors. Like, that's hilarious. And also, you guys know, okay? You guys know I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I love Power Rangers. I'm not saying Shazam's anything like Power Rangers, but when we get that goosebump scene, literally, like, I got chills every time I watch it, where they all put their hand on the staff, they all say the word that I'm not gonna say, and they just all become, oh, it's so cool. And to see Freddy be able to get his flight, to see Pedro become really strong, to see Darla become really that's so cool. I feel like the only downfall I have with the film is that Dr. Sivana could have been written a bit better, but I just feel like that's down to the writing, not Mark Strong's fault whatsoever. So that is my ranking of the DCEU so far. The first 8 films. Oh, I hope there's better stuff to come from DC soon, because honestly, they've made some okay films, you know. Man of Steel, pretty good. Wonder Woman, pretty good. Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Justice League was alright, but then they made Aquaman, they made Shazam, they're amazing. Birds of Prey obviously isn't as high in the ranks for me, but still a great film. Like, they're doing better, and obviously we've seen what Joker can do. We've seen, well, we haven't seen, but we see what Matt Reeves' Batman could possibly do. Hopefully we can see some stuff like that DCEU related very, very soon. And give us our Flash movie. Even if you're going to have Grant Gustin come in instead, give us our Flash movie. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We are very, very close to 2,000 subscribers, and that's all because of you guys. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, consider it. We post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday at 6:30 PM BST, and also just random spur of the moment uploads throughout the week. Sometimes, well, quite frequently now. And if you want, you can consider following us on Patreon or becoming a channel member. I haven't plugged that in a while, but it helps me get more stuff for the channel. Really though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.